All right, what's up, all you beautiful people out there? Sorry we missed you last week, but we're back. Jack, you know what? I'm going to let you introduce yourself quick before we start because I have an apology and then also a little rant I got to go on before we really dive into things. So,
Oh, I want to hear the rant. I'm ready for you to take the floor, man. I mean, I already know a
all
little
right, all
bit
right.
of what you're gonna say, but
The apology I got to give is for any of you that saw 2 weeks ago, we did our award predictions, and Um, I don't want to say foolishly, but looking back, definitely foolishly, picked Joe Burrow as my MVP. And now we know, the injury news that came out about Joe Burrow this past week. Going to miss 3 months of the season with turf toe. So, yeah, sorry about that, all of Cincinnati. I guess my bad on that one. The rant I do have, though, is we started up our survivor picks again this year, and I so foolishly again started this year off on a really bad note. I picked the Bears, the one and only time I think in my entire life I picked the Bears for anything, and you're up 3 scores at halftime, and I'm like, all right, still a solid week one survivor win here. And what do the Bears do? As they've done my 28 years of existence, it's just screw me over, man. Well, not really because we beat them every year, but if it if I needed another reason to hate the Bears, it was there.
hmm.
Like I go out of my way, and I've done it year after year. Like I won't take Bears players in fantasy. Like I took Jerry Judy over Roma Dunze this year, and I know and admittedly know that's biting me in the ass. But I just can't take Bears players because I can't get myself to root for Bears players. I just won't take them.
Yeah, last week
But
with Roma
I went out. I threw my
30
ego aside a
consequence.
couple weeks ago, put my ego to the side, my pride to the side, my bias to Green Bay aside, and I said, you know what? Let me take the Bears and Survivor. And they just, again, if I just needed another reason to hate them, there it is.
Yeah, first survivor pick of the season, starting off right.
Starting
Going
off,
back into your old
yeah.
ways.
It's all right. We got along here. We did miss last week. We didn't get picks in last week, but that's okay.
But at least the Bears lost at the end of the day. As a Packers fan, you have to. It's kind of like a
Yeah, I
double-edged
mean,
sword.
it's nice in that fact, but also just I don't know. Fuck the Bears, man. But anyway, yeah, I briefly touched on it there. We got Joe Burrow out 3 months. My preseason MVP pick, which, all right, I'm just going to chalk myself up for another loss there. But what do we think? I know I've been hearing some rumors, maybe Jameis Winston trading there for Malik Willis possibly going there. Do you think Cincinnati makes a move, or do you think they're just going to roll with Jake Browning?
I mean, Jameis floating around is definitely worth noting. I know that there was kind of already a potential that he could start this season in New York with sort of even though they said that it was Russ, there's always going to be, you know what I mean, guys competing at camp and doing whatever. But he ended up, uh, is he still on the Giants or he's still on the Giants for a 1 year deal,
He's
right?
still there. Mm-hmm.
So there's a possibility. I mean, if I'm the Bengals, though, and if I was to put a bet on it, I think that they probably just stick with Jake. I mean, he's been in the system for a while. You've won games with him before in the past. He already has a little bit of a repertoire with Jamar Chase, some of the wide receivers he got there. You know, not that he's always working with the ones, but there's history there. He's also like a little bit of a chippy guy. I don't know if you've seen any of the clips of like, you know, they should have never cut me type talk of like, I don't know. I don't want to say I like Jake Browning like I'm like seriously rooting for him, but like as far as a backup quarterback goes, I mean, you're not going to get like how much better are you going to get out of someone like Jameis Winston than you are with Jake Browning, I guess. Like is whatever you're going to trade for Jameis Winston, whether it's a, you know, a fourth round pick or something, like it's like is it worth winning one extra game? Maybe. Oh, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Who knows? It's like splitting hairs almost, though, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think if I'm Cincinnati, I'll stick with Jake Browning. Like you said, knows the system. He's He's been in the situation before when Burrow's gone down. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I know, one game could be important, but I don't really know if Jameis Winston's going to lead you to many more wins than Jake Browning would.
Right.
No. So, I mean, I
that may
totally get it. I
even be
mean,
more
if we're
maybe
trading
more
like a
dangerous.
seventh, yeah, I mean, if we're trading like a 7th round pick or something, then, why not? But I mean, I wouldn't really trade anything more than that, I guess. Because Jake
Yeah.
Browning's fine. Threw 3 picks last week, had the 2 touchdowns. I mean, but what do you expect of a guy that had to play in a game that he didn't expect to play in,
Yeah.
Imagine he'll play a little cleaner going forward, I would imagine.
Yeah. Another really, I mean, if you're the Bengals and Joe Burrow goes down like he's done in the past, unfortunately, because his health history has just not been very clean. At least you know that even though Jake Browning isn't Joe Burrow, that he's probably on the better end of backup quarterbacks. Where right now around the league, gonna kind of segue right into there's some backup quarterbacks that are not that good, and now any Commanders fans out there, Jane Daniels may potentially be out for X amount of time, and you have Marcus Mariota waiting in the wing there, and it's like, how confident are you with a guy like that? Or Carson Wentz in Minnesota. And I, as an Eagles fan, have seen some of the really good, and I've seen a lot of the really bad. I know that we're probably going to talk about picks in the games and Survivor stuff later, but Minnesota's. I don't want to say Minnesota's not going to win this week, and then you can come back here and clip it. But I mean, they're not going to win this week.
Well, I mean, it's going to be Browning versus Wentz this week, so it's going to would have been an electric game. McCarthy and Burrow were both there, but now with the backups, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Aaron Jones is out too. So, what's your trust? Do you like Jordan Mason? Like, it's just.
Yeah, I think Jordan Mason's a fine back.
He is fine, but that's not enough to get you over having Carson Wentz as your starter. It's not like you have Christian McCaffrey back there or Derrick Henry where, okay, maybe you can get lucky on a good couple runs and life will be okay and you can compete against the Bengals and Jake Browning. But
yeah, you still got Jefferson on the outside, though. You just kind of got to throw it around him, and chances of him catching it are greater than most receivers in the league. So, I mean, that helps. Plus, you have Kevin O'Connell, who might be, if not the top quarterback coach in the league, arguably top 3. You know what I mean? Top 5, if we want to go conservative with it. But, he's one of the better quarterback coaches in the league. We also have, going back to talk about injuries, we got Eckler also in Washington. He'll be out for the year. Just got some news out of Green Bay. Tucker Kraft hurt his knee. So that's another thing.
Tucker Kraft hurt his knee.
They're saying it's
Tucker
not going to be major.
Knee.
Yeah, I know. I'm crying a little on the inside there.
I
got to keep my composure for the show. So
don't you have a bet don't you have a bet with a friend of ours about Tucker Kraft this year?
If I do, I don't remember.
We'll have to double check on that. We'll have to ask around on that one.
Who was it with?
I thought that you had a bet with our good pal Johnny about Tucker Kraft finishing in the top 5 of tight ends or something.
Did I say he would?
I would assume that would be the argument.
Well, so far I look pretty smart then.
He's the number 1 tight end of the year right now, but
hey, I'm looking real smart.
See what how long his health is, or if that has any impact on your bet. But
yeah, I mean, last I checked, they're waiting for their evaluations. They don't think it's going to be major, which I'm hoping not either. Kind of more news coming out of last week, which not really injury news, but we have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. First time in Mahomes' career, they started 0-2. I'm sure you're thrilled about it. Particularly 0 for the last 3, dating back to last year. First time Mahomes has ever lost 3 in a row. And this kind of kind of a hot take here for you. You know, could be a hot take. I think it's pretty hot take, but saw something out there that, Chiefs missing the playoffs. What do we think about that?
Well, Chargers look for whenever someone says something like that, you got to look at the division first, right?
Sure.
And the Chargers are obviously looking great. Uh, Jim Harbaugh kind of really trying to almost go against his mentality of running the ball. Marlon Hampton has been radio silent, but it hasn't even mattered because the pass blocking has been sensational. Even though their left tackle, Rashawn Slater's down, Justin Herbert's got all the time in the world to drop
He's
back,
slanging that thing, boy.
slinging it to Lad. Quentin Johnston has risen from the dead like Lazarus. Okay, that's got to be like his new nickname, Lazarus. Quentin Johnson, dude.
Keenan
Because
Allen's resurrecting his career over there too after that brief stint in Chicago.
seriously, dude, you could. I mean, it's also one of those weird. Not to constantly talk about fantasy because some people don't care about fantasy, but it's one of those weird wide receiver rooms where you take the Packers, for example, and they have like all these solid wide receivers, but like you're almost rolling the dice on which one's going to have the big fantasy week. The Chargers, it just seems like everyone's going to touch the ball and everyone's going to get at least 12 points. Like you could start Keenan or Quentin or Ladd, and I don't know if that's going to change. If that's like the mantra that Jim Harbaugh wants to keep yelling to his players, but I mean they've been winning games, so Chargers obviously leading that division. Raiders looked pretty ugly the other night in a divisional game, but divisional game, they got G&T. I personally think he's going to bounce back. And then you have the Broncos, who are sort of slow to put their foot on the gas kind of in the first couple weeks, because you look at last week and it was an absolute shootout, almost barn burner with the Colts, and a devastating loss for Broncos fans with the missed field goal by the Colts in the last second for a flag to come out, a leverage flag on special teams for the Colts to get a go-ahead try on a gimme field goal to win the game. I think that the Broncos, it feels like the Broncos are worse than they really are right now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But you could argue that I want to say all three, at least the Broncos and the Chargers, are looking better than the Chiefs. If the Chiefs played the Raiders, it would be closer than if the Chargers, the Chargers already played the Chiefs, but then if the Broncos, just played the Chiefs or something.
Sure. And I think even if Las Vegas gets some things figured out on the offensive side of the ball, they can be a much better team too.
Yeah, I think it's really going to. It's really. No, I was just going to say the Chiefs losing the division.
I don't think they lose in the division, but I'm just saying
not even
miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs. Yeah, it's been slow. I think that the two big factors for Chiefs fans out there, or Chief player owners in fantasy, is when is Rashee Rice coming back and how big of an impact he's going to be in moving the chains, because he's been the favorite wide receiver option for Lord Mahomo. And what is going to happen with Xavier Worthy in this weird shoulder injury that Travis Kelce just laid him out with? Like, how long is he going to be out? Is he going to be back next week? If he's back next week, he's going to play fine with an injured shoulder. Is he going to play through it and everything's fine? Like, there's so many weird questions, but it definitely makes sense where you're coming from. They haven't been able to run the ball at all. Isaiah Pacheco is a shell of his former self.
Talk about a run game that's just been, outside of Mahomes, 2 weeks in a row being the leading rusher. They got to figure something out there. From what I've been seeing and hearing, Worthy could come back this week. I think that's a little too soon. I think if I'm Kansas City. I said I'm out at least one more week. I think Rice out for 6 weeks, so we won't see him until midseason. And then you also got to think something like that. Like, what kind of form are we going to see him in? We probably won't see in the first 6 weeks, and then to get up to game speed, because you can be practicing and stuff. With his suspension, I don't even know if he's allowed to practice. That's something I don't know. I'd have to look, because you got to think, if you're not practicing for 6 weeks, then you just get to practice, and then you got to get to games. Well, you got to get up to practice speed, and then you got to get up to game speed. So it might even be a couple weeks after he comes back to where he's in prime condition. 21 points week 1, 17 points week 2. Outside of Mahomes, really no running game. The offense, kind of looks flat. Defense playing pretty good. Bucker's already missed a couple field goals this year. I mean, it's the Chiefs, and say we want about Mahomes, we all know he's a great quarterback. So I'm not, it's 2 weeks in. I'm not going to jump the gun and say they're going to miss the playoffs. But I mean, if we're talking 16 weeks from now, and we see something where they do miss the playoffs, like, I'm not going to be. I mean, I'll be surprised. Don't get me wrong, I will be surprised, but I wouldn't be like, oh, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah, it's kind of. We're starting to read the tea leaves right now of like what the hell is going on in Kansas City, and you always have to trust. And if I'm a Chiefs fan, even if I'm not a Chiefs fan, if you're playing the Chiefs, if the Packers are playing the Chiefs for you, or if the Eagles just play the Chiefs, you can never count out the Chiefs as long as they have Mahomes starting at quarterback. However, there are some glaring holes and glaring issues coming out of Arrowhead that are going to be worth monitoring, and some of those have to revolve around injuries and whether guys are going to be able to bounce back, or come back and play when they come back.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know, like you said, if I'm a Chiefs fan, I don't think I'm panicking right now. It's like I said, 2 weeks in.
But you're watching.
I mean, I'm not sweating. I'm not even sweating at this point. You know what I mean? But you maybe your legs twitching a little bit. You're starting to get a little movement of the legs there. But the other point you said about, like, if for example, if Green Bay is playing Kansas City, 2-3 years ago, I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a tough game. Like, I'm nervous about this one. I'm not feeling that nervous this year. I mean, at least up to this point from what we've seen. So, Jake in the comments, we're back. Yeah, we are, baby. Well, we were back 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, technically.
We're back 2 weeks ago, and then we lost. We missed last week. What are you gonna do?
We missed last week. We were introducing a new member to the Puza family. We 2.5-pound dash hound named Millie.
You made it sound like you had a child at first.
Yeah, I know. All right, we'll move on to the Chiefs. What do we have down here next? While we're on hot takes here, I saw another good one today. So Indianapolis Colts new quarterback Daniel Jones currently leads the league in passing yards. Do we think he finishes top 5 in passing yards this year?
I think that's hard. I can't remember if here, I gotta turn myself down a little bit, I think.
I mean, I know there's a ton of stuff that goes into it, like schedule, and you got to take a bunch of things into consideration, but he's playing well so far.
I can't remember if it was you and I that were talking about it, or if it was a post I saw, or if I was talking about it with somebody else. But the question is, are the Indianapolis Colts this season what the Saints were last season, where they kicked off the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, I could see it.
Looking like they were playing high school teams. Like, Derek Carr looked like Jesus Christ on the field slinging the football around.
Everyone and their grandma were hitting the waiver wire for Derek Carr in fantasy.
They dog walked the Cowboys. They dog walked whoever else they played in the first 2 weeks. I forget.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it was just a crumble, a slow, disgusting, devastating crumble. And the football gods were not happy with the Saints. And I don't know how that even happens, because football is just a weird sport, and the NFL is the ultimate enigma, unpredictable enigma. the Colts have been playing really well against teams that we know should be very solid teams. I mean, the
Sure.
Denver defense is top 3 defenses in football on paper, at least. And after last season, they're not scrubs. Is it just does the league just have no new tape on Daniel Jones, and in 2 weeks they're gonna lock him down? Like, I don't know, but like you look at the team around him, they have had a solid offensive line for years. They have had one of the better running backs in the league in Jonathan Taylor for the past couple of years. They have at least a solid wide receiver room, if not like great. If you look at Michael Pittman Jr., even though he's getting older, Josh Downs is a reliable guy. You have kind of guys waiting in the wing with Alec Pierce and Adonai Mitchell from Texas. All they really needed was a quarterback, and now they have a guy that is not afraid to throw the ball down the field a little bit, and they're winning games.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I talked about before Kevin O'Connell, but I mean, look what, and I'm not saying this is the reason Daniel Jones is playing much better, but he went to Minnesota, learned from Kevin O'Connell for however many weeks it was. I think, 6, 7, 8 games to finish off the year last year. Now he's playing under Shane Steichen, who I think is a fine coach and offensive mind. I mean, maybe he was just, what do you call it? Product of his environment over there in New York. Sorry to any Giants fans who might be watching, but I don't know.
Yeah, Shane.
Maybe all he just needed was a change of scenery, and I mean, so far so good. But like you said, it's still early. That we saw what happened to the Saints last year. Kind of going against our point with the Chiefs too. It's early. You don't want to get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, Shane Steichen also has a thing. He is like the NFC East quarterback whisperer. You looked at Jalen Hurts, the way he started coming in after Carson Wentz. It was shaky. He wasn't confident pushing the ball down the field. He didn't trust his offensive line. Almost kind of looked like I don't want to say he looked like Anthony Richardson, but they shared similar rookie growing pains, right? And then Shane Steichen comes in, and all of a sudden they're playing off a play action. Jalen looks more confident. They're utilizing him in the run game where it makes sense, and it's not some weird broken down play, and he tries to run out of the pocket and gets sacked, behind the line of scrimmage by, 5 yards. So you look at a mobile quarterback with a solid arm, get him a solid offensive line. There's some. I don't want to.
Good running back
as an Eagles
receivers.
As an Eagles fan, I do not. The last thing I want to do is compare Jalen Hurts to Daniel Jones because they're different. But you need to acknowledge the similarities when it comes to now Indianapolis grooming this different version of Daniel Jones that touched the head of Jalen Hurts, who's just coming off a Super Bowl win. So maybe
you
he's
heard
a
it
new
here
man.
first. Shane Steichen's a groomer who touches Jalen Hurts' head.
And Daniel Jones.
No, but I totally agree. So, I mean, it kind of makes me wonder because you said Richardson before, and, we've seen it now where Steichen was able to, get the Jalen Hurts we see today, bring out the Jalen Hurts that we see today. We see what he's done with Daniel Jones through 2 weeks now. But so is it now enough evidence to just say that Richardson's just not good?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to piggyback. The whole narrative coming out of the offseason was, oh, well, Daniel Jones beating Anthony Richardson. Well, that doesn't really mean that much because Daniel Jones is bad and Anthony Richardson's bad. So, hey, I guess it could be either one of them. But now Indiana Jones decides to play lights out football, and it's like, oh, geez, he might have beaten out, Russell Wilson if he was still in New York. Who's to say?
I mean, after 2 weeks, I mean, he's looking like I said, he's leading the league in yards. I mean, he's looking like a top
10 quarterback
easily.
He's done no wrong. He's literally done no wrong.
2-0, no turnovers.
They've barely punted the ball.
Did very well. I mean, yes. I mean, like, I have Anthony Richardson in a Superflex Dynasty League. I think, Daniel Jones shows off for one more week. I think it's time to just send him to waivers and let him be someone else's problem.
I mean, unless, God forbid he gets injured, but even then, like, at that point, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as my process, my thought process, as far as, if, say, you are an owner like myself with Anthony Richardson in, say, a Dynasty League or something, and you're not the owner of Daniel Jones, and, maybe you need some help at receiver depth or running back depth, I think now might be the time to, just go get a guy, or say, maybe even send a trade to the guy who does have Daniel Jones and see if he'll give you a third or fourth round rookie pick for him. See if you can get something. At this point, unless you have Daniel Jones, I mean, no one's going to sign him next year to be their starter. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure people probably thought that about Daniel Jones. I mean, I thought that too. I mean, I didn't think Daniel Jones was going to be a starter. I thought they were going to roll out Richardson again. They're a young guy. They took 4th overall, beat him until the wheels fall off. But, I guess, maybe change the scenery is best for him. Like we're just doing with Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Snake's got a funny question for you.
Yeah, we do. I was going to bring that up. We just kind of touched on the Eagles here, and we got Ninja said the Eagles are boring. And what are my thoughts? So my thoughts
Did you see this video, by the way? Ninja he was talking about the Eagles.
No, I don't actually know the video, but I guess what my thoughts on the Eagles brand of football is, outside of Saquon, a couple plays, and, even Jalen Hurts, and, they have their flashy plays, but I don't think they're I'm going to say what Jalen Hurts said. You don't have to win games with fireworks. Like, you just have to win. And, I mean, going back to last year, obviously Super Bowl champs, 2-0 to start the year. I mean, they're playing smart, and they're winning, which, you ask any fan of any team at the end of the day what they want their team to do, it's win. Mm-hmm. I don't, I'd rather, Jordan Love go out there, throw for 150 yards, a touchdown, and win 21-15 rather than him go throw for 300, 3 touchdowns, but lose 35-33. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, is it boring? Sure. I mean, it's a different brand of football than a lot of teams are playing this today, I guess we can say. So That's, I understand why people might think it's boring. They're not lighting up scoreboards, which, I mean, I think they could any given week, but they don't need to light up a scoreboard to win. Their defense is sound, very good.
No.
Their offensive line is great. They can control the line of scrimmage. They can control the time of possession. I mean, they're doing everything they need to do to win. They're proving it works. They proved it works. So boring, sure, but like I said, if Green Bay played this kind of football, boring's fine by me.
Yeah, I think that he made some interesting points. I'll have to send you the video. It's just like a funny little clip, but
yeah, like I said, I didn't see the video, so I don't know what points he touched on. So I guess I can't.
He was like going in on him, saying that it's boring and the tush push is stupid and all this stuff, blah blah. And I will say, even though that Ninja probably could afford Sunday Ticket and definitely has it, he's got like connections with the NFL, I think, and all this stuff.
Probably.
But I could see someone saying that, especially after just watching last week. If you never watched football in your life and you watched the Eagles-Chiefs game, right? It was a slower game. I think the final score was like 10-13.
20, I think of the games
20 to 13 or 2017. That's not even
2017.
That's not even 3 touchdowns from the Eagles. It was definitely a slow game. It was definitely a clock management style, heavy reliance on the defense type of game. And it was slow. It was slow, but I think what made it hit really hard, I think that what made watching the slow Eagles-Chiefs game really hard was the game that came before it. Because if you were watching, the New York Giants were playing against the Dallas Cowboys in what was beyond a barn burner. The barn wasn't even
Sure.
burning. The barn was ash on the ground because of how heavy the flames were coming out of this barn. No one saw New York coming out of the woodwork. Russell Wilson throwing for an unlimited amount of yards, seemingly.
350, I think.
And Malik Neighbors having a day. Wan'Dale Robinson having
450.
a day. CD Lamb was getting the ball. This was just like some wild, old school divisional just shootout, dude. Like the Wild West down, in Texas. Can't even remember if it was in Texas or MetLife. Pretty sure it was in.
It was in Dallas.
It was in Texas. But you watch that game, right? And this game came down to the wire, man. I believe it was 28-28, something along those lines, and it went
Brandon
to OT.
Aubrey, dog.
Well, yes, and it went into overtime. But then, imagine you're watching this crazy game, right? There's interceptions and fumbles and massive plays and 70-yard touchdown passes, and oh my God, this might be a contender for one of the best games of the year.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, as it goes into overtime, you hear Joe Buck, and he's like, all right, we're here in Philadelphia. We're going to switch over to the Chiefs in Philadelphia. And everyone goes, what? Where's the game? They're not going to show overtime? If you did not have Sunday Ticket, you did not get to see the overtime in that game and how it ended, which is honestly a travesty on the NFL's part, because the game was freaking awesome. I literally was like shifting between the two channels because I had so much time invested already in this great brawl between the Cowboys and the Giants that I was like, I need to see how it ends. Like, obviously I want to watch my Eagles, but like,
it was a fantastic game.
But like, how do they turn that off?
And yeah, I mean, it was definitely like chilling with the lady and her parents come home. I mean, the fellas watching will understand that one, but yeah, I mean, we're overtime with this great shootout game, and then they're like, "Oh, here's Mahomes."
And if you are not an Eagles or Chiefs fan, or even if you are, and we're just watching that great game, and all of a sudden it gets clipped in front of you, and you don't have the opportunity with a Sunday Ticket or something to go and watch it, absolutely it's going to look slow, and you're going to be like, why the hell did they decide to put on the Eagles and the Chiefs? And yeah. I've also heard, I know that's a ninja clip, but there has also been some sources and feed, non-biased feed that is, on Instagram and everything, talking about how the Chiefs are boring this year, and the Chiefs should not really be just automatically thrown into prime time games this season because they are not the Chiefs of 2 years ago.
I would go one further. I would say the Chiefs were boring last year too. I mean, I said it every week when we were making predictions. I thought they were very boring, very unexciting team. But guess what? I mean, it goes back to, what we were saying about the Eagles. Boring, but winning. So
they weren't boring last year if you enjoyed doing laundry because it was on the field all the time. So that's, something.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this comes back to, and, if I had a beer, I'd pour it out, but, pouring out for Stream East.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Stream East is no longer with us, RIP.
They shut it down.
I mean, there's plenty of other illegal streaming sites out there. So they may, we're down, but we're not out.
We're down, but we're not out.
Illegal bootleg.
I also fortunately did have Sunday Ticket, so I was able to watch the game, but I know not everybody could do that.
Yeah, I did. If they were paid for Sunday Ticket, I was a Stream Easter. Hope the feds don't come for me, but
my grandfather did.
I've found other ways to watch games for free illegally. Well, I shouldn't say illegally. I'm gonna get myself arrested here, but
it was funny though. Shout out some of the boys and a sort of funny story. You obviously know our buddies Eric and Johnny. They were watching the game together because our buddy Eric had a free bet on the game, and he's not usually a gambler, but he had like a free bet that all these companies give you when you join their sports book,
Sure.
and he had Dallas. And Johnny's obviously he's just a Cowboys fan, so he wanted to he was involved in the game. And this game was insane. It was back and forth. Eric was like freaking out, like because they were so heavily favored, and now it's a close game.
Sure.
And what the hell's going to happen? And all of a sudden they're watching it, and then you just hear Joe Buck.
Absolutely.
All right, we're in Philadelphia. They were like,
oh, I would have freaked out too.
They were like scrambling, trying to figure out where to stream it. They're like,
yeah, I mean, you cut off, arguably the best game of the week to, give us one of the more boring games of the week. Closely contested, so I mean, not boring in that way, but as far as the action and excitement wasn't much there.
No.
All right, so let's see what we got. We could. Not many questions coming in this week, so not the early answer there. What do you want to do, Jack? Should we just move on to our pick'ems and look forward to week 3 of the good old NFL season?
Yeah. First game of the night is I don't know if Snake's still here with us, but shout out the Buffalo Bills playing tonight. Thursday night football
Bills, Dolphins
against
tonight.
A divisional Miami Dolphins at Buffalo.
I'm going to pull up. I believe the game's at an 11.5 point spread last I checked, in favor of Buffalo, which I believe Josh Allen is 7-0 or 8-0 against Miami at home in his career. So, I think Buffalo takes this one pretty easily. Miami hasn't looked great this year so far. Buffalo, on the other hand, has. Some to me, though, I think 11.5 might be too much of a spread, though.
Yeah, it's 11 or 12. Did you just check it? It was 11 and a half.
Yeah, I'm getting it pulled up now. They moved it. It's 12 and a half.
Yep, so it's shifting between 11 and 12.
I think DraftKings knows something that we don't.
I don't need to know anything.
They want more. I think they want more people to take the Bills on the They might want. I don't know. I think I might take Miami 12.5. I don't see them losing.
What's the over under? Let me ask you.
49.5. So, wow. I mean, they're thinking
dog walk.
49.
They're thinking dog walk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, unless there's something really going on down there, Miami, I don't see them getting blown out. Well, they didn't get blown out last week, but I don't see them losing. Well, I see them losing 3 in a row, but I don't see them losing by 13.
I wouldn't touch the spread, but I would put the house on the Bills.
I'm not going to touch the spread, but if I had to, I think I probably like Miami 12.5. I kind of see this game maybe like a 7-point, 10-point game. But who knows? I don't know.
This Dolphins team is bad, man.
Dolphins look bad. Bills look very good.
Tua is shook. He is very properly shook. Tua, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but you're shook, brother. You are one of the shook ones that Mobb Deep was talking about back in the 90s, brother.
Well, we have the safety on the other team was pretty shook up at one point too. So we got 2 shook ones going at each other. Yeah, I mean, I'm going. I'll take Bills here.
DeMar give Tua his concussion last time he had one? When he did the gang signs? Wasn't that against Buffalo? I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was against Buffalo.
Possibly. Someone fact check us there. I'm not sure.
I think that there were memes floating around about DeMar Hamlin having to take another man's life for like
a sacrifice.
Yeah, like a sacrifice, like his penance for like coming back to life. He had to take someone else's soul, and he took Tua's. I don't like Miami. I think that locker room is also just in a weird hell space right now with Tyreek Hill and him.
That's another, I guess, kind of hot take we can get into. I know I talked about Doug Peterson last year about being the first coach fired, and I'm hearing same things this year about Mike McDaniels.
Mike McDaniel is fighting for his job right now, but
absolutely,
he's fighting the way that you or I would fight if we fell into the gorilla enclosure at the zoo and we were fighting off 5 gorillas with a stick. You know what
Yeah,
that is, Cody?
his seat is very hot
It's a
and
it's a it's
doesn't
a
seem to be
losing battle.
getting any colder. Oh
It's
yeah,
it's a losing battle.
unless they somehow turn things around and go on a little run here, but the way it's looking, it's not looking good.
No, yeah, Mike McDaniel, and I don't want to get too deep into this because it's kind of a funky football discussion of behind the curtain, what happens, who's in control, GM, coach, however you want to look at it. But I wonder how much Mike McDaniel is actually at fault with what's going on because I mean, I don't know how you allow it to get to this point with Tua, how you haven't invested heavier into the offensive line or into a new quarterback entirely. And I know that that might be a hot take, but I mean, how much longer do you ride the
Yeah.
Tua boat
So
before you're comfortable with drowning with a sinking ship?
yeah, I mean that definitely, at least from you, would open a whole nother conversation that we can talk about probably a whole hour on itself. Of I kind of in the past years, I've kind of noticed these teams panicking to pay their quarterbacks. Miami, Jacksonville, Dallas, even.
New York.
They pay them all these money. I'm, hoping New York. I'm hoping the case for Green Bay is not true, and I hope Jordan Love, ends up being worth every penny and more. It's a thing where these teams, they like. We're not going to get too much into it. That's, like I said, a whole nother conversation to itself. But I think teams nowadays like panicking to pay their quarterbacks, which, like I said, we can have a conversation another day about it. But yeah, I don't know. How much blame does McDaniels get? Obviously, head coach, he's going to get majority of it, but is it justified?
Yeah, like
I wouldn't know.
If Andy Reid had Tua under center, at the end of the day, uh,
Yeah, I mean, we can't forget Tua, not last year, but I think 2 years ago, led the league in completion percentage. So, I mean,
yeah, but 2 years ago he didn't
three
get
less concussions.
yeah, like that's what I'm gonna say. Like he still is coherent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dicey down there in Miami. Um,
I want the Bills. I want the
happens.
Bills. You know,
Yeah, me as even
I
the
think I
Bills.
probably would take the spread. I would probably take the spread.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch it here, but yeah, I think it's Bills, and I'm not going to second guess that one. I don't know if these games are in order, but we're just going to go in order of what DraftKings has. We have my Green Bay Packers going into Cleveland. First road game of the year for Green Bay.
This is a lock.
Playing the Browns. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking as a football fan here, not as a Packer fan. So, God, universe, whoever's listening, please don't jinx this. Green Bay might look like the most well-rounded football team in the league right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You can talk about defense. Their defense is sound. The passing game, Jordan Love's playing great. The running game with Josh Jacobs looked great. Offensive line, we had 2 injuries on the offensive line last week and still played, still held up, played pretty well. Keyshawn Nixon, I kind of doubted him going into the year as our corner one. He played lights out last week.
Yeah, he looked really
I think, obviously we brought Micah Parsons in, and I think what that did more than just his production and stuff on the field, I think that really energized the entire locker room. And, we had, Josh Jacobs last year, and obviously
what about a guy by the name of Devontae Wyatt?
Devontae Wyatt looks like a dog.
Dude,
Like
Kenny Clark leaves and Devontae Wyatt
steps right up.
okay, I see those empty boots. I'm about to step in them. And he made plays
Sure.
all over the field.
Playing
He
lights
is
out.
not afraid to get on top of the ball wherever it is.
Yeah. I mean, look, you had, like I said, you had players, Josh Jacobs, for example, last year, we need a real receiver one, a lot of question marks at edge. What do we do? Went out, got the receiver one, went and traded for Micah Parsons. And what I was going to say is what I think that does more than just is obviously his great production on the field. Hasn't even played 50% of snaps this year. And already has a 25% pass rush win rate at second half. Wait until he starts playing 90% snap share, 95 like he was in Dallas. I mean, it's only going to get better from here. But what I think that does is it kind of lets the players and the coaches know that the management and everyone, like, we're all in. We want this. Let's just this is our year. Brett Favre at 27 won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers at 27 won a Super Bowl. Jordan Love's 27 this year. Question marks, we'll see. But I mean, they look, not as a Packer fan, as a football fan, don't want to jinx it, but they look,
they look good.
Favorites at this point. I mean,
one of the best teams of football right now.
Gotta be. So yeah, I guess that's a lock too. Knock on wood. Browns.
I could see that being a surprisingly low scoring game, but you guys still win.
They have it. It's definitely. I think it'll be low scoring. I think
Browns
Green Bay is
still
going to
have
go.
a good defense, but they're just bad, like just straight up bad offensively. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay definitely leans on the run heavy this game. Limits Flacco and the Browns.
Flacco.
The total over under is 41.5. So I think Vegas also thinks it's going to be pretty low scoring. Yeah, I mean, I could see this game ending like 24-10, 24-13, something like that.
Yeah.
Next, we got Jets going to Tampa Bay to play the Bucs. Jets will be, another injury news. Jets will be without Justin Fields this week. Spread on this game is 7 even. Over under 43.5. I think give me the Bucs at home. And this might be another hot take, but I think Baker Mayfield over the last year and this year, I think he played himself to, maybe not elite status quarterback, but I think he's knocking on the door of elite, I would say.
Yeah, he's up there.
The only thing that worries me, Bucs offensive line could play a little better, but I don't think the Jets are going to do enough on offense to keep up with the Bucs.
No, the Jets are also. In case you know, the Jets are also bad.
Well, I would take week one. Looks good week one.
Yeah,
week two was a different story.
Week one's week one, and they're also playing up against,
Steelers.
It's week
Which again,
one.
Steelers look good week one, didn't look that great week two. All right, we got the Rams traveling Philadelphia to take on your Eagles. I guess I'll let you have this one first.
It's going to be
spread on this is 3.5.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's at 3.5 because I think this is going to be a close game. Obviously, we already talked about the Chiefs-Eagles game last week. We did not look very explosive, and we are going to have to score more than 20 points if we're going to beat the Rams. I'm telling you that right now. Stafford has beaten the old man back injury allegations. He is phenomenal. Puka Nacua is the wide receiver one in fantasy right now, and probably the bet. I don't want to say something crazy, but if he's not the number one best wide receiver in the league, if he's not number two, then he's probably number 3 or 4. We'll just say that. Easily a top 5 wide receiver right now in the NFL. Devontae Adams has come back into his own a little bit last week, putting up over 20 points in fantasy and being a reliable second option for the old man, Matt.
I mean, yeah, what do you have? Didn't he have like 11 catches or something?
It was a lot. But both teams, pretty good D-line. It's gonna be a little playoff rematch, I guess, would be the narrative here. And which one of these teams is gonna go 2-1? I'm really hoping Philly could get to Matt. I'm really hoping we could hit him a couple times, shake him up a little bit.
We're taking Philly. It's at the link.
Philly, and it's at home.
Right.
So
the other thing too is both games that Philly played LA last year, Saquon went out for 200 in both games. I'm almost certain. So that's another thing to look at. I mean, obviously,
Saquon's been sort of, I don't want to say quiet because I think that I think in week one he still had over $1, if I'm not mistaken, but it was a slow buck. It was like a really weird buck. It was like,
well, that's just Eagles football team. Slow. Let's run the clock down. Like let's control the game. And they've been doing it very good so far.
There was a little bit more explosivity last year. It felt like that every now and then you would get that one grenade explosion type of a run from Saquon where he hits the home run at least once every 2 weeks. And we haven't really seen that this
I
season
mean, the
yet.
Eagles.
I think week 3 might be, at home. Energy's right, like you mentioned. You got this. Are you over here? I don't know, pointing.
Yeah, I always forget how this camera works.
He
It's like
likes
opposite.
playing against the Rams, so hoping that we can get some explosivity here out of.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that explosiveness has to do with, and I'm not saying the Eagles' offensive line is bad or got significantly worse, but they definitely took a step back this year. You lose Kelsey and you lose the other guy, right guard, that I can't think of his
We
name.
had Landon Dickerson out week 1. He came back last week and is sort of coming back into his own a little bit after injury. So I think that pretty sure that we're kind of starting to sort of get back a little bit. Also, we weirdly signed Kenyon Green this last week. Something to note.
Can't hurt, I guess.
But we're riding Philly. Mr.
Riding
Magic's
Philly.
here.
Mr. Magic, hello, sir. Yo, happy that you're here.
We
All
just
right,
talked
next
about
game
it.
we have the Atlanta Falcons on the road. And Carolina, we have a 5.5-point spread there. Atlanta is the favorites on the road. Falcons 1-1, Panthers 0-2. Sadly,
Cody.
I don't know. You're kind of like the home underdogs.
You know who I like.
I'm kind of liking the home underdogs here. I think they could get
Cody,
it done.
we're closeted Carolina Panther fans, you and I.
I think so. I think if something were to happen in Green Bay and say they just pulled themselves out of the NFL, I think I
The
would have to
stadium
go to
with
Carolina.
all the players in it blows up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to wish anything like that to happen.
No, not
Say
not wishing,
say
never, ever. But
say they just went bankrupt or something, and the team just couldn't move on anymore. I think the Panthers would be my team to move to. Yeah, I don't know, but I think so far when agreeing here, I like Panthers. Give me the plus money at home. Atlanta looked looked good last week on the defense. I mean, Atlanta's defense is nothing to play around with this year. I think their defense is playing very well. Michael Penix played very good week 1. Didn't really have the stats week 2. I guess kind of just did what he had to do. I mean, they were up. They were just kind of run heavy week 2.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it kind of depends. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it just comes back to really. I think it comes, and I hate to say it, but quarterback play maybe. Is Penix week 1 Penix, or we're going to see week 2 Penix, and then is Bryce Young, have one of those games where he just can't seem to throw the ball, or is he going to have one of those games like we saw in the later half of last season where, comes out, throws 3 tutties, and maybe runs for 1, or I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'll take plus money at home for Carolina.
I also like plus money at home. Weird player to look out for after last week. I know this is likely just a flash in the pan, but it's worth at least noting. Hunter Renfrow had a lot of touches last week, and the weird thing in Carolina was that Xavier Legette, as high as they drafted him, has done little to nothing for them, unfortunately. And, Adam Thielen's gone. There really hasn't been the clear guy, at least for Bryce, it seems. Obviously, Tet
I think T-Mac looks like a dog.
right.
Yeah,
Tet looks very promising, but even he, he's been.
He's more the outside guy
good.
though. Renfro's your little throw him in the slot, quick pass.
But that might be the type
Bryce
of
getting pressured.
Right. That might be the type of somebody that Bryce needs when a defense takes away. You know what I mean?
I think every team needs a Hunter Renfrow type. One of those guys that your quarterback's in, getting pressured.
Sneaky athletic.
Oh yeah, sneaky athletic. That's not what I was getting at, but one of those guys you can just throw in the slot, and if your quarterback's in danger, you it's the safety net they call it.
Yeah. No, I like Panthers at home.
All right, we do got some questions. Rolling in here, Mr. Magic. We'll go yours first. Play Pollard or Warren full PPR. I'm going to post. So we got Pollard against the Colts. We got Warren against the Patriots. Oh boy. I think Warren. If it's a full PPR, yeah, I'm going to go Warren. Warren's catching the ball a little more than Pollard. I think I see Tennessee playing from behind a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see Pittsburgh, even if they are playing from behind, which I don't necessarily see. Warren will get those passes.
Divisional games, you never
I'm
know what the hell's going to happen,
True.
but I would swing Warren as well with
going to
you.
go Warren. Warren looks good this year. I think he's handling 80% of snap shares. So, all those people that drafted Caleb Johnson thinking he was going to be the guy, I don't. Unless injuries happen, I think, Caleb Johnson might have a, red shirt rookie year. And then he's got another one here. Which side are you on? Brian Thomas Jr., Pollard, Keenan, Golden, Hampton, London. Full PPR. I've seen a lot of people down on Brian Thomas Jr. lately. It's still early in the year.
Yeah, I'm a BTJ owner in both leagues I'm in. I am like pissed, but I'm also hopeful. And Golden's been weird, and Hampton has just had no gas in the tank at all. Meanwhile,
if this is redraft and you
I'm
need
taking-
points now, I'd go Brian Thomas Jr. side.
Yeah, that's what I was
If you're
gonna say.
okay waiting on the productivity and points, maybe this is a dynasty. I'd go Golden, Hampton, London. That's just me personally. London will figure it out. I mean, he's still getting majority of the targets over there in Atlanta. Hampton will figure it out. John Harbaugh, we said before, he's kind of thrown his playbook out of being the run heavy guy, but they're going to go back to it eventually. And Matthew Golden, after January went down, he was second in targets ran for Green Bay behind Romeo Dobbs. Reed will be out for some weeks, and I guess some Pecker and said here, Golden's having no problem with separation. I think they're just moving along slow. Got a lot of mouths to feed. One less due to injury. I think Golden will be fine. I'm actually kind of high on him this week.
I go BTJ side probably.
We'll go BTJ side, yeah, but I mean it's not. I don't think it's too far apart.
No.
But yeah, BTJ side for now, I would say. We got Smokey the Cat here.
What team is
guys?
Sorry.
Trash. I drafted Henderson and Harvey too high. Okay, happens. Would you rather trade Puka for Bucky or London or JT? My team is Mahomes, Puka, London, Henderson, Sharps, Pitts, Pickens. I mean, I would hate the trade Puka.
Maybe weird take.
Would you trade Puka for Bucky? Oh, wait. Puka for Bucky or London for I see what
London
he means.
for GT for me, man.
I mean, if you could do London for Bucky, I don't know. I mean, you definitely would rather trade London than Puka. I don't think you trade Puka unless you're getting, like a McCaffrey back or like a top guy. Like you're not trading Puka for anything less than a top 5 guy. I would do London for Bucky only because I like the Bucks offense more, and it's only 2 weeks, but he's been better the first 2 weeks. London, Henderson, Sharps.
What do you mean London for Bucky?
Like I would trade Drake London for.
He has Puka.
He has Puka and London. He's wondering if he should trade Puka for Bucky or London for Jinty. And I'm saying try and trade London for Bucky if you could. If not, London for Jinty's fine to get the running back help, but I think I'd rather Bucky over Jinty if you can pull that off.
Yeah. But
even do like London and
I would probably still
RJ Harvey for Bucky,
I don't know if I'm just drinking the Jinty Kool-Aid here. I think that he is a slow start, but he is going to grow on his own. I'm definitely a Jinty believer, even though I'm not a Jinty owner. I actually sort of
to Benson, Harvey, Robinson, White.
You got Rashid.
You have White, so
I mean, I would personally do the London trade for Jinty, or I like your idea of if. I'm assuming because he didn't write it here that wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, if we're weighing it one against the other, I would definitely do London for Jinty before I would do Puka for Bucky, 100%.
I'm not giving up Puka. Personally,
like I said, if you're getting a top tier guy back, you're going to Puka.
Yeah, as a Puka owner in a league, he is. You need him. You need Puka, man. Unless you're getting someone to be your slave for a year. I mean, like you need like an arm and a leg for Puka right now, man. He is the man in LA right now. So
Sure. And the Rams like to throw the ball
and
too.
even
So.
Bucky, and this is another sort of weird fast flash in the pan fantasy thing, but Rashad White had some touches last week, and I'm not saying that he's going to take the job or anything, but I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there.
Was it
He had
I
like
don't know if he
70
said.
points.
I mean, he didn't say if it was PPR, but PPR. If it's a PPR league, Tampa likes Bucky in the pass game more, so that's more of a reason. I like. I mean, JT's not a bad pass catcher. I don't know what I'm saying, but London for JT over Puka for Bucky, and I guess we'll just kind of leave it there.
Yeah.
All right. I see a world of G-Zuds, if I'm saying that right. I see your question. I was just looking at a couple more of these games quick, and we'll get to that. Speaking of Pollard, we got the Colts going to Tennessee, 4.5 point spread. I mean, Colts look good. Tennessee doesn't really look good. But there's another plus odds at home that I kind of like.
What's the spread on Colts?
Spread's 43.5.
Wait.
Oh, spread is 4.5. Sorry, the over/under is 43. My bad. The spread's 4.5. Over/under 43.
4.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the plus odds at home again. Cam Ward, looking shaky, but I don't think Cam Ward's really getting help. Like his offensive line, I think would have been good so far, but they don't look great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to trick myself into going for the underdog. Maybe it is just Colts.
We already picked the Panthers as an underdog. I think we go Colts here.
Colts, okay.
That might be a trap game though, but I don't. I mean, Panthers could be a trap game, but
see, now looking at the end now kind of I'm second guessing myself. I can't do it because now I'm looking at it. If we are just going to pick one underdog, I think I like Tennessee more than Carolina to win. Maybe I'm just second guessing myself and I can't think too much into it.
Nah, Indiana Jones, man, come on.
All right, we got Pittsburgh going to New England, 1.5 point spread. Again, another home underdog in New England here. Both teams 1-1. Oh, man, I don't know. It makes sense why this is the closest spread of the week. Houston Jaguars is 1.5 as well.
Give me New England at home.
New England at home. I don't have enough to argue there. I'm fine with that. Oh, for those, we never really introduced our veto rule.
We have not.
So for those of you who might be new to our show, not necessarily get right, what we do when we do the pick'ems, Jack and I are allowed to veto a pick if we don't agree. Hasn't been used yet though. We've been pretty.
Yeah, we run through all the games.
The agreement's pretty good so far.
We try and ping pong off each other, and usually tradition, Cody or myself put a big parlay together. But each
we'll get the world of Jesus question here. Would you trade away Nico for Chubb and Evans? Absolutely. I don't know if you were here 2 weeks ago. I said I'm not high on the Texans offense at all this year. And admittedly, as a huge Nico Collins fan, I think you're going to get more production out of Chuba Hubbard alone, and then just adding Evans on top of that is, icing on the cake.
Oh my God, I don't know why. For a second I'm looking at it, I'm like,
I think absolutely.
I thought that it said Chubb, like Nick Chubb.
Oh, Nick Chubb.
And I was like,
I don't know. Chuba, yes.
Yeah. But Chuba Hubbard and Mike Evans. Yeah, dude, Chuba.
I think I'm absolutely taking that. Even if it's PPR, like Chuba has a receiving touchdown 2 straight weeks. So, I mean, I'm taking that, and I don't really think I'm thinking twice. I mean, it stinks to lose Nico, but
we're both big Nico guys. But
as a guy who's not really high on the Texans offense this year, that's fine by me. I'm surprised, honestly, and I would even go to the point where I'm surprised you're getting that much value for him right now.
Yeah, I am too.
So I say you take that.
I think that people are maybe the reason why you're getting value out of it, maybe the Mike Evans owner is a little scared about this whole Mecca
Mecca.
Igbokwe thing. I don't want to say I'm not scared of it if I was a Mike owner because Mecca does look really good, but Mike Evans is the definition of consistency. What if it was
Oh yeah.
Pickens instead of
Yeah, I mean,
Evans?
definitely getting foreshadowed as far as talking points with Egbuka. Everyone's talking about the shiny new toy, but don't forget Mike Evans still dog.
If
What
it
if it
was
was Pickens? Who
Pickens
was Pickens
and Pickens and
taking
Chuba, or
place of? Like, is it trading Pickens for Chuba and Evans, or is it Chuba and Pickens?
assuming he means Pickens and Chuba for trading away Nico.
I mean, I'd still
Risky.
do that personally. Only because I see Dallas.
I also just like Chuba.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Chuba for Nico alone is a great trade, and if you get Evans or Pickens on top of that,
Can we just turn this into the Chuba podcast? We just talk about Chuba Hubbard all day and how much we like him.
we're just gonna talk an hour on Chuba Hubbard every day.
Oh, Chuba
and Pickens. Yeah, take it easily. Again, that's another one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going to Washington, who may be without Jaden Daniels this week. 3.5 point spread. Commanders favored at home. I think I like Vegas here. Well, caveat: if Daniels plays Washington, if Mariota's playing Las Vegas, so this one might be a little too early to call. But I think all signs are pointing to Daniels not playing, if I'm correct. So I kind of like Vegas here.
I like Vegas not only because of the quarterback worries and injuries that may be taking place in Washington, but I don't think that Geno Smith will have back-to-back games like what he had against the Chargers last week because that was atrocious. It was a really bad game for him.
Bad.
I think that might be some of what is swaying this. I'm actually really surprised. I'm not looking at it on Vegas right now, but on Sleeper for the pick'ems each week, 61% of people on pick'ems have Washington, which I don't know if that's 61% of people that think that Jay Daniels is going to play, but that seems like it's who's favorite on Vegas right now?
Washington's favored right now.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. So
guess,
maybe they. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Vegas might.
It's a home. They're at home, so I guess why
it's
should
home,
why should it be weird to me? They're at home, but
Mariota.
I go Vegas. I'd go Vegas here with you.
I mean, Mariota. Hold on, let me just plug in here quick. The joys of being live. You get to see all of this debauchery here. You can make the argument that Mariota could play a similar game to Daniels. Mobile, decent arm, but he's not going to play it as good as Daniels. I like Raiders here. Give me some plus money. All right, we got the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals going to Minnesota to play the J.J. McCarthy-less Vikings. Spread is at 3. Vikings are favored at home.
My pick.
And I think I'm going to go Minnesota. I think they're favored for a reason.
Carson Wentz is not going to have a good game, brother.
So the way I look at this one, I don't think he will either, but the way I look at this one is I'm going to focus on the defensive side of the ball, and I trust Minnesota's defense a hell of a lot more than I trust Cincinnati's.
That is fair.
So, I mean, I can see Minnesota winning this and only needing to score, say, 20. Browning over Wentz. Well, sure, yeah. But, it's not just Browning playing Wentz. Jeff, hello, by the way. Browning definitely better quarterback than Wentz. But as a team sport, I'm taking Minnesota over Cincinnati.
The only, I guess, counter to that is I don't think that Minnesota is going to be able to put up that many points. I think maybe they get one. I'm seeing maybe a touchdown and 2 field goals.
That's fair.
And I could see Cincinnati at least getting 2 touchdowns at least 2 touchdowns. I could see that being a very close, boring, stupid game where the final score is 17-10.
So you like Cincinnati here?
I do, and I may veto that one if we have
All right,
to
why
roll.
don't we'll go back to that one.
Okay.
We'll circle that one. We'll go back. Bit of an
Okay.
indifference there. First big indifference
I
I'd say
just
we've
I've
had so
seen,
far.
and you know what? I hope Carson Wentz goes out and wins as an Eagles fan. I hope he goes out and he has his nice little. He could win a game or a couple games for Minnesota and then go off into the sun with not a sour taste in his mouth. But I've seen that version of Carson Wentz, and there's no going back to
As a
2017.
division rival, I hope he doesn't win. So,
Well,
all
so
right,
all the
next
more reason
one,
to bet against him.
What's up?
More reason to bet against him.
Yeah, I guess. All right, next one we got Houston going into Jacksonville. Two teams I'm not necessarily crazy about, but I think
Houston
I
doesn't
don't
go
know.
0-3, man.
Christian Kirk will be back, so it does
Yeah.
give CJ Stroud another weapon.
They don't go 0-3.
Man, that offensive line in Houston is just very bad.
Very bad.
Super bad.
Really bad.
I mean,
You think they go 0-3?
I don't know. No,
They can't go 0-3.
I'm fine with it. I don't feel any certain way either way. So we can go Houston. I'm okay with that. Plus,
Houston, we got some plus money on this week,
plus
man.
money there. So, all right, we got where the G's back. Here's another question: who like more, Danny Dimes or May? This week, oh boy,
Danny Dimes has given.
We got Dimes against Tennessee, May against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense has been pretty suspect up to this point. Give
me Danny Dimes, man. Danny has not given.
Yeah, I mean, until Danny Dimes gives us a reason to not. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That one, and I know Drake just had a really big week. I think he had over 30 points. But
both weeks he played pretty well. Yeah, I guess go Dimes until he proves us otherwise.
That's what I would do.
I mean, I think when we look back after the week, they probably are going to score similar in points, very close to each other, I imagine. I guess the only reason I would lean Dimes is because I think Pittsburgh's defense is better. Dimes probably has the better matchup. So yeah, I'll go Danny Dimes there.
Yeah, go Indiana Jones for you.
All right, so now we're moving on to the 4:00 slate. We got the New Orleans Saints against the Seattle Seahawks. Spencer Rattler still looking for that first win as an NFL quarterback.
He's not going to.
DraftKings got the spread at 7.5. Seahawks pretty heavy favorites at home, and I understand why. Yeah, I'll go Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I think the losing streak for Rattler is something along like the 9 games, 10 games.
I think it's 8 or 9 at this point. Yeah,
and it's not looking any better for him as the weeks go on. And
no, Seattle's got a tough defense. I think Sam Darnold is, shaking off maybe some rust from week 1. Week 2 looked better.
Yeah, put the house.
Week 3 he can come into, his own again.
Putting the house on Seattle. If I was betting.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Spencer Rattler, it's kind of surprised me so far this year. Last week he threw, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions yet to this point in the season. I just don't think it's enough to take down Seattle in Seattle.
Not enough for me.
All right, we got a nice division game. Teams we were talking about earlier. We got Denver Broncos traveling to LA. We got a 2.5 point spread here. LA favored at home. And I think I like my favorite at home too.
All Chargers, right. Baby.
Doesn't look like we had any argument there. Yeah, I mean Herbert. Herbert probably, Maybe we got to check ages on here to maybe make sure nothing illegal here. But maybe he should have started dating. Was he dating Madison Beer,
Madison
right?
Beer.
Maybe we
She's
got to check ages. Maybe she wasn't of age a couple years ago, but ever since he started,
no, I think she was. I think she's like 24 or 25.
All right, so Herbert, you probably should have chased that tail a couple years ago because you were playing out of your mind ever since dating her. I texted you a couple weeks ago, like in the middle of that Chargers game, and I was like, "Are we going to see a Herbert MVP season here?" And after 2 weeks, he's putting up a good case.
Putting it together, man.
It's like when you start dating the new girl and you got to show her all like your music you're into. You got to show her all your cool stuff. Like, you got to.
He's being Mr. Cool Guy right now.
Hell yeah! All right, we got we have a game. I'm kind of surprised that the spread's so close. We have Dallas going to Chicago, 1.5 point spread. No plus odds on this game either, which is kind of surprising to me.
Vegas knows.
Vegas has it as a bit of a shootout. It's 50.5 point over under. I see Dallas going to 2-0 more than I see the Bears going to 1-2. The Bears are just, I don't even know what they are. We've got 50 put up on them.
You think Ben Johnson?
And then I'm gonna go Dallas on the road.
I'm feeling Chicago, baby. I think.
So I'll tell you what, if we can come to agreement here, I'll use my veto here to take Dallas. If you want to take your veto, take Cincinnati.
You got that sour taste from Chicago, huh?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, I think Dallas is the team they can probably beat. But
lost to New York.
In Chicago game. How is this oh, maybe it's not the game. Is this the game of the week? Oh no, Cardinals 9ers.
425. It's 425.
Yeah, there's 2 425 games.
Oh yeah.
But I think Cardinals 9ers is game of the week.
I don't know.
If you
I lean Chicago, but if you want to use the veto, and then we'll use the veto. So I get Cincinnati, and you get Dallas. That's fine with me.
Well, let me. So we got Cardinals, Niners, Chiefs, Giants. I mean, I feel like there's only one other game that we may. Well, all right, we'll go back to that one. We'll see how we think about these last 3.
Okay.
And if that's how the vetoes fall, that's how we'll use them. We have Arizona traveling to San Francisco. 3-point spread. We got Niners favored at home.
Brock's still out, I believe.
Will be without. I was going to say will be without Brock Purdy, but they did fine. They did enough without him last week. Oh boy.
I'm going with the Michael Vick jokester Kyler Murray.
You saw that picture with the Vic jersey posing with his dog. I think I'm cool with Arizona here. Although I think the Niners, like I said, they played well enough last week with Mac Jones. I don't know. I like
the close one.
The Cardinals, sure, yeah. 3-point spread. It's probably going to be close. Yeah, I like it. We'll take Cardinals.
Cool, me.
So this one's kind of interesting, and they have, Kansas City's going to New York Sunday Night Football. They have the Chiefs at pretty heavy favorites. It's only a 6-point spread. So do we think, and hear me out, if the Giants are to put up, say, another 30 points, do we think the Chiefs do enough to win? I don't know. I'm not saying I don't think the Giants are going to win. I don't see the Chiefs going 0-3, so I'm going to go Chiefs. I'm just saying
I would honestly go whatever way you wanted with that one because
I can't see the Chiefs going 0-3.
I personally have the Chiefs.
I'm going to go Chiefs. I don't see a world where the Chiefs are 0-3.
If the Chiefs are 0-3, then they should pack their bags. Get ready to go to
Mahomes should probably just retire at that point.
Go on vacation.
Yeah, I'll go Chiefs. I don't seeing the Chiefs 0-3. I just can't.
But
how last year we would do like the.
We're living in a world right now where we're picking the Giants over the Chiefs. Like
we're
talking about having the Giants over the Chiefs right now. Like realistically.
Yeah, last year this was a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, I think it's Chiefs. There's no way they go 0-3, right?
Yeah, we
There's
have
no
to,
way.
but that's the problem. We have to swing on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, let's not even think about it anymore. We're going Chiefs. All
it's
right,
like
last game.
2 outs and 2 strikes. Like we have to swing.
Yeah.
We just have
Yeah,
to swing.
it's like the what's the playing baseball?
Protect the plate. We have to protect
No,
the
when
plate.
hit and run. When you're the hitter and the runner's running, you kind of got to swing. You got to put it in play. That's the little part. You're trying to move them over. You can't let the ball. You can't watch the ball go by you. All right. Anyway, moving on. We had which might be the most exciting game this week. One I'm kind of excited to watch. Monday night we got Detroit going to Baltimore. 4.5 point spread. Baltimore is favored at home. I think I'm going Baltimore at home as well.
I don't think that the Ravens lose 2 close games in a row if it comes down to being a close game for Baltimore. And I know that Derrick Henry is playing for blood this game after the whole fumble controversy, whatever. But this man is going to put down his shoulder and meet men in the hole. I think that this is also going to be a good game. I don't think it's an easy pick, but I like Baltimore at home.
Oh, it's definitely not easy at all. And, it's hard to bet against the team that just put up 52 last week.
Yeah,
But, I mean, it was the Bears.
it was the Bears.
Lamar's playing, he's playing just as good as he did last year, a year he probably should have won MVP. But I digress. He was my, when we were making our MVP picks this year, it was between Burrow and Lamar. Obviously we know what happened to Burrow, so I guess Lamar is now my pick. Yeah, like you said, I don't see them
to Lamar.
Well, I have to now. I'm not. If he wins, I'm not I'm gonna pat myself on the back. But when I was making my predictions, I was between Burrow and Lamar, but I went Burrow.
Who did I say for MVP? Did I say Mahomes? I think I said Mahomes.
Yeah, I think you said. I don't think I wrote anything down, to be honest with you.
I
think you did say Mahomes. All right, so it looks like we are going to use our vetoes because we didn't use them on anything. So I'm going to veto Dallas over Chicago. We'll use your Dallas or your veto as Cincinnati over Minnesota.
Are you throwing $1 on that?
We're going to throw $1 on. Oh, except odds changes. $1 to win $4,693.
Holy fuck.
I
wish I was betting.
Well, if it
hey, if you're feeling generous, I'll take something if you're feeling generous, but I'm off the sauce.
We did.
I have an agreement with
we'll split the cost.
No. I didn't put anything in. I technically can't bet anyway. I have a whole thing.
All right. Well, I'll give you. You
buy me a couple beers or something.
You'll get some. Don't worry. If I win $5,000 off $1, I'll get you something. Don't worry.
All because of the veto.
All right, all be because there we are. Like we said, $1 to win just under $5,000. A lot of underdogs this week.
That's what I was going to say. That's why it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 underdogs this week.
It's probably too many.
Hey, we'll see what happens. But you never know. We say that now, and all our underdogs might cash, and
also some of them
loses.
Some of depending on the spread, they aren't technically.
They're not too crazy of underdogs.
Yeah.
All right, that leaves us with our just our survivor picks before we let you guys go. We missed them last week, so we're jumping. Jack is 1-0. We picked the Eagles week 1. I'm 0-1. I'm wearing the Dunce hat. I picked the Bears week 1. Why the hell would I do such a thing? Jack, since you won yours week 1 and I lost mine week 1, I will let you pick first.
No. Well, I picked first, so it doesn't.
Oh, are you gonna let me have this one? You're gonna let me have this one?
Well, don't we go back and forth?
We did, but we missed a week.
No, you got it.
All right. If I'm taking the floor here, I don't want to use them yet. That's a possibility there.
I have 2 I already have my 2 team, my 2 games. So whichever one you pick
I'm going to go. We'll save that one. We'll save them. I'm going to take the Buccaneers this week. I'll take Bucks over the Jets for my survivor. And for everyone wondering why we're still picking after I lost, it's kind of not really survivor. It's kind of like just a record at the end of the year. I think it was like $30 or something I sent you last year or something. I think it was like the cost of all the bets or something. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, Jack won last year, and he's off to
all the bets or however that works.
Jack won last year. He's off to a lead so far this year. It's making me question why I'm still doing this show with him. All right, Jack. Your survivor pick.
I am not even going to think about this. I am a firm believer that the Dolphins are about to enter poverty. It's going to be really, 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 really bad. And I know it might be a bad strategy to take heavy good teams early, but I think that there's something to taking the good teams early and waiting to feel out how the rest
of the other teams. Yeah, it's not a bad tactic.
So I'm going to go with Buffalo. I'm going to go with Buffalo. Buffalo.
I was about to say them, but then I saw Bucks.
12 and a half or 11 and a half point spread.
I mean, it's the widest. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the widest spread.
Jeremy, I'll be on soon, brother. We were just talking about your Steelers, bro.
Jerry wants to play Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, it's the widest spread this week, and never mind. Wait. Nope, that's next week. Yes, it's the widest spread this week, and I get 4 good reasons.
Did we take Pittsburgh over? No, we have the Patriots, I think. Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
That's a tough game.
Might not want to watch. Yeah, we did take New England, but hey,
it's like kind of a toss up though.
Had to get some plus odds in there. Well, we have plenty of plus odds in there. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna wrap that up. There's our pick'ems. There's our selections for each games this week. Thanks for the questions they asked. Hopefully, we could give you some, good insight. Nice, Jerry.
Jeremy shitting on his own Steelers.
Well. Yeah, I think that'll be a good game. I think it's a good game.
The Patriots are just coming off.
I think it'll be one of the best. I think it'll be one of the closer games this week, if anything.
Pittsburgh's they like taking their time. They're taking their time to get the ball rolling right now, and Patriots look kind of hot. So.
Hey, I'm a big Drake.
And they're at home.
Drake New England's at home.
That's what I mean. New England's at home.
Oh, I think Pittsburgh's at home.
No.
All right. Well, that's, I guess, all I have for you guys. Unless we don't get any. We got Steelers might win if Caleb Johnson gets dropped. Yeah, Caleb Johnson, we kind of briefly commented on it before. It's probably going to be a red shirt rookie year for Caleb Johnson.
Did you see that play, though?
Oh, yeah. It's like, I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah.
It's a heinous crime.
Yeah. It would be on if ESPN still did Shacked and a Fool, it would probably make that segment.
No, he should absolutely be shot and hung and
we should make a little segment.
Pittsburgh.
You want to start a new segment? Want to do like the Caleb Johnson bonehead play of the week or something?
Shittiest player of the week.
That's what we're gonna start doing.
Caleb,
we're gonna do the shittiest play of the week. Whether it's like a dumb play, shitty play, I like it. There you guys go.
It would have to go to Caleb this week for sure.
Oh, that definitely gets it. At the top of my head, I can't even think
that one or Kelsey's drop pass for the Andrew Makuba interception.
I mean it's a bad play.
I
wouldn't say it's a stupid play. It's not like he purposely meant.
I'm just thinking of bad plays in general.
It was definitely bad play. Another bad play, more or less bad game. Xavier Legette had 8 targets, 1 catch for -2 yards.
That's bad.
That's just kind of a bad game. I guess those are the only ones that really stick out to me as far as bad play, performance, showings.
Yeah. Something to keep out for the coming weeks. If we talk about bad.
Yeah, maybe that's a new thing we'll do. We'll do our favorite play of the week. We'll do our least favorite play of the week. I like that idea.
I like
you guys are here. All of you guys watching, we're here for the birth child of that idea. I don't know, Jack. You got anything left? I guess I got nothing.
I got nothing, man. Go Bills, because I picked them for Survivor, so I'll be
Go
watching.
Bills. I threw, some of you guys might be familiar with the Jimmies. I didn't throw a Jimmy in tonight. I threw more of a Jack lock in tonight. I have Josh Allen to score anytime touchdown, and I have James Cook over 15.5 receiving yards. Nice little two-legger. We're not even going to get too crazy for a Thursday
15 and a
night.
half. I
We'll
like
get a Jimmy this weekend. I usually save the Jimmies for the weekend games. The Thursday nights I don't really play around with. But I had some money left in DraftKings, so I said, why not?
You know what I like? I feel like Josh Allen might be a little too on the nose tonight. I like Keon Coleman touchdown tonight.
Keon Coleman, I like that. I saw some like Kincaid. His line was at I think 25.5. That ain't bad.
Yeah,
Kind of like that one.
it's hard
James
to
Cook
project.
touchdown is probably not a bad bet either.
It's hard to project after week 1 because everyone on the team had a touchdown. Kincaid,
That was
Coleman,
a crazy game.
Josh.
I can't believe Baltimore blew that one.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I guess a toss for both. But never count Buffalo out, but never count Baltimore in. It made sense in my head. I don't know. All right. No more questions are coming in. Jeremy, Jack, I'll hop on Fort here in a couple minutes.
I probably will.
Thanks everyone here watching. Thanks all the questions, comments. We appreciate those. Once again, thank you, Dontavian Wicks, for
keeping the show
bringing all this together. Can't forget about our Lord and Savior and founder, Dontavian Wicks. All right. With that, I know I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Same.
And I'm sure my cats and dog are hungry too. I got to go feed them.
Go feed the
dog.
dog.
All right, Jack. I guess until next week, my friend.
Adios, brother.
See you.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go